So now, again, thanks everyone no, for tuning in our webinar. Pero hindi pa nagtatapos dyan ang ating learnings for today because our next speaker is ready na to share with us his insights about our topic for today. So our second speaker graduated with a Bachelor of uh, Secondary Education, major in mathematics from Philippine Normal University. Currently, he is taking his master's in pastoral ministry at Don Bosco School of Theology, and at present, he is a job seeker empowerment coordinator at Project Inclusion Network, which develops and implements strategies to empower people with disabilities to secure meaningful employment and manages programs that contribute to the organization's mission of inclusivity and empowerment.
Oo naman, let's give it up for our second presenter, Mr. Roylen Arellano.
Good afternoon, Sir Rolyet.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. Hopefully naririnig niyo ako ng clear.
Yes,
Okay
sir.
naman? Okay, sige. So, my name is Rolly. You can call me DR. It's my nickname. And it's good to be here. It's good to be invited. I'd like to thank si Sir Royland for inviting me. He's been a good friend of our organization. So it's a blessing to be here and also listening from our first session kanina. Ako rin ang dami ko natutunan, a lot of refreshers. And personally, bilang isang bago dito sa uh, I would consider myself bago when it comes to dealing and helping people with autism because I've just been here for like less than 2 years. So malaking bagay na listening to this and knowing a lot of people who are was the same advocacy. So thank you so much, and it's really inspiring. Um, the title of our session of our second talk today, it's employment opportunities and challenges for individuals with autism. So siguro bago ang lahat, siguro I'd like to ask a question. Sige, can you go to the next slide? Pwede nga ako magtanong, no? For the next slide, I'd like to ask you, when was the first time you encountered a person with autism? Maalala niyo ba, for those who are in the Zoom, can you go to the chat box? Pwede mo bang i-type dyan? Kailan ka unang naka-encounter ng isang tao na may autism? Is it like bata ka pa? Or sa school ba? Sa simbahan? Sa work? Nakasabay mo sa jeep? No? Okay? Sige, siguro while others are typing, I encountered the person with autism. I was still young. Actually, I think I was 6, 7 years. We were playing sa aming playground, mga kalaro ko. Tapos mayroong isang bata na sumama. Tapos, takbo lang siya ng takbo. Tapos hindi namin bagets kung bakit. Hindi siya nakikipag-interact sa amin. We don't understand ano yung sinasabi niya. Masaya lang siya. Ganun. Until one day, merong isang padre na, a nun, no? Padre na sumama sa kanya. And the nun explained to us yung kanyang condition. So it was an eye-opener for us. And we began playing with it. It's just sad kasi hindi lahat naiintindihan sila. No? Some people binubullying, some people pinagtatawanan, inaasabi. Minsan nasa gitna sila ng mga jokes. No? So it's just sad. And ako admittedly, hindi naman ako magmamalinis. When I was still young, isa rin ako sa mga would make fun. No? But as I grow older and as I mature in my life, of course, I get to understand, bro, etong mga to, regalo ng Diyos. At it's the same God also who works in each and every one of them. So, malaking bagay na may encounter natin ito, malaman natin ito, makita natin na may possibility kaya nila na magtrabaho, mag-provide, mag-contribute. Nakakatuwa, no? I'm reading your answers. Sabi ni Timothy, every day in my school. Sabi ni Heidi, my duty when I was in college. Wow. When I was young, I was diagnosed with autism. Yan, siya mismo. Diba? Di ako sure if anong spectrum siya, but I was 8 years old. Nasa 20s na yung age niya that time. Okay? Too young to notice, yes. Okay. We have two classmates in college, and there are times they would distract the class or throw some tantrums. Yan. Totoo yan. Ako, when I was in high school, one of my classmates also has autism. So talagang very distracting, no? Lalo pag hindi mo alam to control and hindi mo alam kung saan siya nagagaling. Now, what my topic is all about, di ba pag-usapan natin ngayong hapon, about employment opportunities and the challenges for individuals with autism. That's what we're going to talk about. Kasi, ang ganda nung first session natin kanina, nabigyan tayo ng background, ano yung autism and how we could relate to them and how we could, paano tayo may kasalamuha sa kanila. Dito naman sa second session natin, sa second talk, kaya ba nilang magtrabaho? Kaya ba nila sa workplace? Is it possible for them to have a job? Pwede ba yun? O paano mangyayari yun? Hirap nga siyang makagets. Slow nga. So, paano mangyayari yun? Di ba may mga terms tayo na gano'n. Before I give this quick talk about autism in the workplace, I'd like to show you a video. Okay, wait. Pakita akong video. I'll be sharing my screen. So, hold on. Okay.
Hi, I'm Ivan Christopher Lascio, and I am 36 years old.
Hi everyone, I'm Hannah.
I'm Ronald Alexander P. Motomol.
My name is Brian Julian H. Porleo.
I am Bless Adriano.
My name is Sarah Ali Usoy. Ako po, Pe Tapayudi.
I am blind, but it's not since birth. I acquired my visual impairment in 2012 at the age of 14 because of systemic lupus.
My special condition is I have mild autism or earlier on ADHD.
I was diagnosed with autism, specifically Asperger's syndrome, when I was 6 years old.
I am also diagnosed with ADHD.
I was able to get this job through the help of Project Inclusion Network.
Many thanks to Project Inclusion Network for all the work done. Okay, I've been working here for nearly 4 years.
I gained some friends here. Project Inclusion has helped expand my skills. I'm really thankful that they gave me a chance to work. I hope that we'll reach more differently able people, that will reach to the whole of the country.
PIN was created because we saw the need for persons with disability to be included in society. There were numerous barriers that prohibited them, that discriminated against them, that made it very difficult for them to participate in the workforce, to participate fully in the community.
Project Inclusion bridges that gap. They train people with different disabilities. They give them the skills so that they can join the workforce. And not only that, Project Inclusion also trains and gives support to the companies.
Ang ating mga persons with disabilities actually have the capacity, they have the capability, given the right environment, given the right support, given reasonable accommodations, they will be able to really perform well at work and be able to contribute to society.
You know, my son David is in the autism spectrum. He's 21 years old. One of his most memorable experiences was when he was able to do job internships. He worked for a salary in a few companies over the summer, and it made a difference. He became more confident. He became skilled on the ground. But I'll tell you the real game changer. We think that by hiring a person with disability, we're doing them a favor. No, they're teaching us. I'd like to call on all of you to help out. You know, it takes 45,000 pesos to train one person with a disability to enter a company, to make him or her ready to join the workforce. And for me, that amount is a life-changing amount. I do hope that your heart is touched. And tonight, you think of people with disability. They deserve a better future.
Hopefully na panood natin mabuti yung video. My name is DR and I'm from Project Inclusion and Project Inclusion Network. And Project Inclusion Network is an organization that helps support persons with disability na magkaroon ng trabaho. I think one reason kung bakit na-invite ako ni Roylan to be here is because, of course, kasama ang persons with autism, people with autism sa mga tao natin tulungan natin dito sa Project Inclusion. Because, of course, kasama sila dun sa persons with disability group. And as you see, no, as you see doon sa video, makita mo, it is possible. Kaya, given the right environment, support, help people, kayang masuportahan ang isang person with disability, even person with autism, to be able to land a job and be successful in his or her workplace. So, we go to the next. As we go to the next slide, I'd like to konting dagdag lang from what our first speaker has told us kanina. We talked about autism, di ba? Ano ba yung autism? Or autism in the workplace. So before we talk about autism in the workplace, ano ba yung autism? So to the next slide, it says there, it's a neurological development condition where individuals have difficulties in executive functioning, social interaction, and communication. It's a spectrum condition, which means it includes different levels of symptoms, skills, and ability. And people with autism have one or more special interests, which they often pursue passionately and persistently. So, kanina, I think nabigyan tayo ng napakalawak na preview kung ano kung pinagdadaan ng isang tao with autism, especially the video that we watched kanina. It's para sa atin, ano yun, malaking tulong yun for us to get to know more about this spectrum. And kung isipin mo, the big question is, can person with autism land a job? Kaya ba nilang magtrabaho? At kung magtatrabaho sila, paano? No? Pero bago natin puntahan yan, bago natin puntahan yung challenges and difficulties in work, pag-usapan natin, ano yung mga skills nila? Ano ba yung kayang gawin person with disability? And in the years of existence, the Project Inclusion, we were able to list down few things na na-observe namin about the skills and common strengths of persons with disability. So we go to the next slide. Number one, persons with autism, sorry. Number one, persons with autism, they're detailed oriented. As in, sobrang nilang detalyado. Pag may sinabi ka sa kanilang phone time, you say it's 7 p.m., it's gonna be 7 p.m. You say it's 5:30, they're gonna be there 5:30. When you say that you dress well, you wear polo, and then you wear black shoes, as in sobrang detail. Napapansin nila lahat. Kanina, kwento ng first speaker natin, pagkapit lang siya ng buhok. Pansin lang. Second, they excel at managing tasks and deadlines. Kami sa Project Inclusion, we have, if I'm not mistaken, right now, we have 2 employees with autism. So, naman sila. And they excel at managing tasks and deadlines. Yung sinabi mo na, we need this before Friday. Guys, before Friday, yung document mo na doon. No? Totoo yan. Kung sinabi mo na, I need this printed and naka-folder. Kasi excellent nandun yan, naka-folder, naka-sealed, kompleto. Also, excellent record keeper. Alam mo, for example, I think 2 weeks ago, we were in Lipa, nag-jump fair kami. Dahil sa jump fair, kailangan namin bilangin ilan yung nakapila, ilan yung walk-in. So we assigned one of our co-workers with autism. Sabi namin, pwede mo bang bilangin kung ilan yung nakapila, ilan yung ganito, ilan na yung tapos, ilan na yung ongoing. Sobrang nilang excellent. With the numbers, with the details, they're very concise. They can also perform routine-based tasks well. So I remember, because it's pandemic time, like 2 years ago, hindi po mapasok. So meron lang kaming routine, meron lang routine. Ngayon, nung dumating na, nung nagkaroon na ng hybrid setup, they were able to follow the routine as well. Sa Project Inclusion, we go to the office Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Friday. So talagang yun lang, routine lang. pag sinira mo yung routine, ano rin, magugulo din sila. So dapat very ano. And lastly, like what I said a while ago, they're so punctual. So they follow deadlines, they follow schedule. They're very obedient pagdating sa mga ganyang bagay. Okay. Now, when it comes to communicating and interacting with person with autism, ano ang dapat natin gawin? Siguro as I narrate or as I share different points, I would also share different challenges for every point and tips in communicating. I'll be sharing also different challenges na pwedeng ma-encounter. Sige, we go to the next 2 slides. Yeah. So, for example, giving instructions. Pag nagbibigay ng instructions sa mga yung persons with autism, remember, they work well with repetitive tasks and routines. Diba? Kung ano yung routine, mag-stick ka doon. Kung ano ibigay mo sa kanilang guide, mag-stick ka doon. Bigyan mo sila ng schedule na ito na, papasok ka, break time is 10, 12 noon is lunch time, and then pag 1 p.m. may meeting tayo, may routine, no? Follow that routine. Okay? However, if there's a sudden change in routine, inform them ahead of time or explain the reason why the change is necessary. And that's one challenge that persons with autism would usually encounter. Kasi tayo, yung wala sa autism spectrum, ano tayo eh, we tend to go with the flow, or we tend to be spontaneous. Diba? We have to understand that persons with autism cannot always be spontaneous as you are. So you have to explain and you have to tell them ahead of time. Diba? In case of long-term change in routine, gradually incorporate small schedule modification to prepare larger shifts. So, ano din, kailangan unti-unti. Hindi dapat biglaan, hindi sudden. Okay? Next slide. There are often punctual and conscientious employees with great driving focus. So, mapapansin mo, may mga ano naman, most of them are really, really punctual. Talagang pag binigyan mo ng isang task, focus lang sila dun sa isang task na yun. That's why they often accomplish their task on time and are seldom absent. Di ba? So, ensure the person is not being taken advantage of by his or her colleagues. So this is one challenge that we noticed because very on time and very self-driven, may matinding drive yung persons with autism. Minsan natitake advantage, di ba? Minsan sa kanya na lang pinapagawa, no? Or minsan yun na lang yung laging binibigay na task sa kanya, or minsan inuutusan siya lagi. So kahit na hindi na niya oras, no? Dahil masyado siyang mabait, or masyado siyang lenient, or masyado siyang obedient sa kanyang mga boss or colleagues. So it's one challenge na nakita namin. Minsan natitake advantage. So kailangan yung person in charge or yung, how do I say this, yung, siguro I would say yung supervisor niya, aware kung paano siya tutulungan at paano siya susuportahan. Okay. Another, in giving instructions, we go to the next slide. They work well in a structured environment. So that's why, because they work in a structured environment, be clear and specific in giving instructions and explain the procedure step by step. Right? So dahil nga structured yung environment nila, I remember na meron kaming employee ngayon sa Project Inclusion. Dalawa nga sila, di ba, with autism. Meron silang sariling table and chair sa aming office. And every day, doon lang sila upo. Hindi sila nilipat, hindi talaga. Stick lang sila doon. And they get to do their job well doon sa pwesto nila. No? So, talagang mapapansin mo na yung environment nila malaking factor sa kanila. So, dapat hindi laging nagbabago, hindi nasisira yung environment. Also, when you talk to them, avoid using figurative speech or idioms. Ano yung ibig ko sabihin? Yung mga hindi nila mag-gets. Yung mga, hindi naman sa hindi mag-gets, pero yung mga words na hindi sila familiar. No? So, avoid using that. Lalong-lalo, for example, if your coworker with autism ay, let's say, hindi siya marunong sa sasakyan, never siya marunong sa sasakyan. So don't use our terms with him or with her, diba? Kasi para sa kanya, ano yun? Para sa kanya, jargon yun. Diba? Pagdating naman sa figurative speech, pag, kasi minsan they take it literally. For example, sarcasm such or exaggeration such as, di ba ang init ngayon, di ba? Ang init ngayon. Sinabi mo, minsan tayo sa office, ang biruhan natin, wow, ang lamig. Sarap di ba? Wow, ang lamig. Pero mainit talaga. No, persons with autism would say na, paano malamig? Eh, di ba ang init? So, they would take it literally. So, yeah, be careful with that. Okay, next slide. In providing feedback. So if you happen to have a coworker na meron autism, acknowledge and recognize their desirable behavior and performance. Yeah. So for example, let's say for example, hindi siya nakatapos ng task. Hindi siya nakatapos ng task. Instead of saying na or questioning him, hindi ka nakatapos ng task. Ano ba yan? Kung tamad-tamad mo, bagal-bagal mo, ganyan. Instead of saying that, give him affirmations. Such as, alam mo, nung natapos mo yung task, dati, we were so happy. Alam mo, nung nagawa mo yun, we saw the glow in your face. No? Nung nakita mo yun naging masaya, di ba? So, or also recognize na, alam mo, pag ginagawa mo yung task, kaya namin sa'yo binibigay because you're diligent when it comes to doing the task. So, recognize their strength and their desirable behavior. So, do not focus on the negativities masyado because sometimes, mas mag-dwell sila doon. So, at yun na yung may isip nila na identity nila. So, okay? Sumunod, when giving feedback or correction, provide in correcting errors or providing negative feedback, state the mistake, and then suggest 1 or 2 clear, practical, and achievable tasks to work on. Show them that it's a learning opportunity rather than a failure. So, for example, nagkamali talaga. Nagkamali ng book. Kaya nagpabook ka naman sa kanya. Order naman tayo ng Grab, milk tea sa Grab. Nagkamali siya ng book. So, instead of mas pagalitan, no, sabihin mo yung error na nagkamali ka ng book. So, next time, bago mo i-send, pwede mong ipa-check sa natin, ipa-check kay ganito, pwede mo. So that, tell them that it's a learning opportunity. O, di ba may natutunan ka? So, sa ganun mo tignan. Okay, so we go to the next one. How about sa work environment? Okay. So remember that they have sensory sensitivities. I think nabanggit ng first session natin kanina na sobrang nilang either oversensitive or undersensitive sa mga senses such as smell, touch, sound, and light. So merong iba na sobrang reactive when it comes to light. Some would be reactive when it comes to noise. Also, dapat you have to may mga ways kung paano siguro it's for another topic for another discussion. But there are ways kung paano matulungan na not necessarily to overcome but to lessen their sensitivity pagdating sa mga ganun. So kaya pag sa office, occasional breaks may be necessary to process these stimuli. So for example, kung sensitive siya sa noise or kapag nagbi-meeting, for example, some persons with autism, sensitive sa dami ng tao at dami ng nangyayari. So, kunyari kami sa office, kapag ang dami na nangyayari sa office, during a meeting, we take a break. Process muna tayo, coffee muna, lakad-lakad muna. So, in that way, natutulungan mo sila para hindi lahat magsabay-sabay sa kanila. Okay. Another thing, we go to the next slide. Since they work best in a structured environment, it's advisable for the department to post visual guides such as flowcharts, calendars, tables, and to support and for a smooth transition of person with autism. So maganda yun, yung may flowchart. Sa amin sa office, labeled yung mga offices and desks. So for example, this is the conference room, this is the room of the executive director, this is the TR's desk. May mga ganun label. So that they would know. Sa ganung paraan, matutulungan mo sila. Because kasi nga visual silang tao. So mas visual sila. It's a helpful guide for them. Okay. Yes. How about for culture and social interaction? So we go to the next one. When flash temper tantrums or outbursts happen, don't make a big issue out of it. Minsan nagtatantrums talaga sila sa pagkain. Lalo kapag overwhelmed sila sa mga nangyayari. So don't make a big issue. Huwag as much as possible, kung kaya mo, kontrolin mo yung sarili mo, huwag ka mag-make face, respect their space and give them time to calm down. So minsan tatanungin mo sila, what's wrong? What happened? How can I help? How can I support you? Diba? So you may suggest they go for a walk or take a short break. Minsan samahan mo, minsan kailangan lang nila nakapulituhan. Or minsan naman hindi. No? Diba? So dapat talagang dapat wag din natin silang sabayan sa init ng ulo. Okay. Sige. Next, some of them have difficulty, next slide, some of them have difficulty initiating or maintaining eye contact. So, again, this is very real, no? Some of the persons with deficit talaga, saan sila nakatingin, hirap-hirap sila. Nagko-communicate kayo, pero ikaw yung kausap niya, pero sa iba siya nakatingin. So, sometimes, maninibago ka. So, remind them that it's important to orient their body towards someone when communicating with them. So, okay lang yan mag-remind. Sino kausap mo? Hindi ka dito, sa akin ko hamarap. Diba? Focus. Ka dito. So, nasa kanya ko. So, importante yun. Kasi nare-remind sila and tulong din yun sa kanila at sa mga taong kausap. Right? Sige, we go to the next one. Facilitate social situations in the workplace to practice interacting with their colleagues. It's good kasi sa trabaho, kapag isang challenge ng person with disability, kapag hindi mo sila pinansin, the day will pass na dumandang sila sa office. Kasi wala lang, tapos na. So, you have to facilitate, you have to be, ang favorite word ko dito is intentional. Intentional, say it to yourself, intentional. We have to be intentional in relating with them. Because if not, wala, ililipas yung araw. Pagkatapos yung 8 hours, 9 hours ng work, na hindi kayo nag-usap. So you have to be intentional. Encourage them to observe and learn from how other employees communicate and interact with each other. So there was one time, I told one of my colleagues, with autism, panoorin si ganito, look how he presents, or look how she express herself. Can you do it? Or do you have other ways? So, maganda yun kasi integrate yung kultura ng opisina or ng environment na gusto mo siyang isali. Kasi yung time, nakahanap niya yung place niya sa society, sa group. Next slide. When interacting with them, avoid using sarcasm and idiomatic expressions. Yan, just like what I said kanina, as they may take it literally. So in cases when you observe confusion, gently explain why it has become motion. Okay? So maraming ganyan kasi tayo sarcastic, minsan yung explanation natin, diba? For example, one time sa office parang may nag-hatching, may nag-sneeze, no? So biglang aasaran. Uy, may COVID ka na. So yung isa namin, yung isang may autism would think na, talaga may COVID siya, uwi na tayo. Kasi exaggeration. No? So dapat, we have to explain to them. Kasi minsan, hindi sila nakakasabay. So some examples. So I placed 2 examples here. So colleague comments on hot summer. As the next slide. Ito yung sinabi ko kanina. No? Sabi, it's cold. I'm freezing. Pero ang totoo, mainit naman talaga. So same something like, joke lang yun. Actually, mainit talaga. Joke lang yun. Another one, what a colleague says, there's so much work. I don't think we can go home. So, explain mo, joke lang yun. Kasi baka mamaya sabihin ng office mate niyo with this, hindi na tayo makaka-uwi, dito na lang. So, explain mo, joke lang yun. You can help each other to finish the task. So, yeah, these are some, I think, tapos na yung mga slides ko, pero, I think, I was able to share with you how we do things in project inclusion and how we relate and communicate with persons with autism. Malaking bagay na tanggap, mahal, at tinutulungan natin sila because kaya nila. Posible na makapagtrabaho sila, posible given the right chance and given the right situation and right kind of help. Persons with autism can be big help in the workplace. So, yun lang. I guess di ko na pakakabayan. But, I hope and pray that we all be able to help one another promoting this noble cause to help persons with autism accept and be able to include them in the society, have inclusion pagdating sa kanila in the society, especially in the workplace. So, yun lang. Maraming salamat and have a blessed evening. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much, sir, for sharing that insight. Ayan. So I think what's the one thing na natutunan mo, TJ? Yan. Ano ba yung mga naging aha moments mo during the session of Sir Roliet?
Thank you so much for the inspiring talk, Mr. Roylet. I learned that the first time I met an autism is when I entered as a volunteer here in Handsome Inclusion. And I still don't have any knowledge at all. And thank that this webinar, I have to learn more about what is autism. And I also learned how when they work in a workplace and they can be also a big help in the workplace.
All right. Thank
How
you so
about
much,
you,
partner. Yan. Thank you so much, partner. Ako naman, ang nagtanda sa akin is, di ba yung unang tanong kanina is, kaya ba nila or pwede silang mag-work? So, dun palang pinakauna palang sinagot na natin na yes, kayang-kaya nila. And isa din dun sa na-share nung Angels Walk last Sunday is that maraming companies na partner din actually ng SM and even sa SM or MOA, marami sa kanilang mga restaurants na some of them, yung mga workers nila, ay from communities, from people with autism, and they're able to function well. Ang dami nilang natutulungan, ang dami nilang naa-assist. So doon pa lang sa first question na kaya ba nilang mag-work? Yes. So the answer is really yes. And just to read yung mga chat dito sa ating chat box, Thank you so much for participating, everyone. Sabi dito ni Carlos, what I learned from the second speaker is about persons with autism in the workplace and the reasons why person with autism need to enter the workplace is because ordinary people like us need to enter the world of work in order to have money. Correct naman, everyone I need na masuffice yung kanilang basic needs. And isa yon yung financial stability. So let us give them opportunity na makapag-work kasi kaya naman nila, lalo na if tayo or yung isang environment is very supportive, mahaba ang patience, at talagang they really want to develop the person. And we also have here from Loy, sabi niya, KKK for autism in the workplace. Katrabaho, kasapi, kasali. Yes, yan din yung na-highlight ng Angels Walk last Sunday. So yes, ang ating mga persons with autism ay katrabaho, kasapi, at kasali din sila sa ating workplace environment. Then from Regine, ang sabi niya naman, with the right support and accommodations, individuals with autism can showcase their talents and contribute to the workforce in meaningful ways. And I would have to agree with that. And alam nyo ba, yung iba minsan, mas nag-excel pa sila, no? Minsan, yung iba, grabe yung talent talaga, hindi mo siya maipaliwanag na it really parang humbles us na we should also give them a chance. No? Na bigyan, kaya nga, di ba, DEI, Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion, na dapat equal, no? Give them equal opportunity and inclusion. So, dapat included din sila. Yan. So, thank you so much for your inputs, no, dito sa ating chat box.
Again, we would like to thank our two speakers, Miss Carla and Mr. Roylet. I'm sure sa mga gustong itanong ang ating mga participant. So with that, we will now open the question and answer session. If ever you have any questions related sa ating webinar this day, this would be the perfect time to raise them.
Yeah, so if you have your questions, clarifications, feel free lang po to type it in the chat box. Ayan. Wag po tayo, again, sabi natin sa house rules, wag po tayo mahiya. So, ilagay nyo lang po sa chat box kung meron kayong mga katanungan, anything, or kahit insight na you'd like to share sa lahat po ng naka-join dito din sa Zoom natin. Okay? So, any question? All right. So, can we have, please, again, dito po sa atin, no, sila Sir Roylet and si Miss Carla. And I think meron pong meron ng question, no, from our attendees. Yan, pwede po ba ulit mag-on cam si Sir Roylet and si Miss Carla?
Hello po,
Thank
sorry.
you so much. Ayan, thank you so much po, no?
Pwede na sumagot?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I think yung first question is sa inyo po.
Okay. What is inclusion? Inclusion is involving everyone. It's reaching out to the least, the last, and the lost without any barriers. So, yeah, that's inclusion for me.
Yeah, thank you so much, no, sir. And another question we have here is, what is the difference between autism and ADHD in terms of behavior? So, how about if that person has mild autism and mild ADHD?
Siguro po I'll answer the question. Sorry, I cannot turn on my camera na po. Medyo maingay sa background. Nasa work kasi ako. Alright, so siguro po the difference pagdating po sa criteria or pagdating po sa diagnosis is ADHD is more on behavioral po. No, nagpapakita sila ng mga hyperactive activities and also they are inattentive. Kaya po siya attention deficit hyperactivity disorder. And when it comes to autism spectrum, though they are showing hyperactivity, ang deficit po nila is when it comes to the social communication, social interaction, and also pagdating sa mga repetitive patterns of behavior po. So yun po yung difference between ADHD and autism.
I hope na clear po ang question, no, sa ating chat box. Yan. So ito naman, I think this is an insight. So just to read, sabi ni Jean, we must treat people equally regardless of status, gender, PWD, and of course, individuals with autism. Dahil may autism sila, they can do things that a normal people can't do. I myself, proud to see a person with autism because I believe they can do a lot of things that will amaze us. And I am lucky to witness such person with autism. So thank you so much for sharing, Ms. Jean. Yan. So we also have an anonymous question. Ang tanong niya naman, how can we join Hands in Inclusion Philippines as volunteer? So for this part, I think I'll answer it very quickly na lang. So for those interested to join as a volunteer, and thank you for asking this one, we're open for volunteers. You just need to send a message sa Facebook page ng Hands in Inclusion, no? And then from there, we'll reach out to you, no? So that we can start the orientation and onboarding process for the new volunteer. So yun, send lang po kayo ng message sa Hands in Inclusion Philippines na Facebook page. Okay? So, another one we have here, ito insight naman from Lois, no? Some persons with autism can also have ADHD. Yes, so minsan merong double yung diagnosis. Ayan, so thank you so much for sharing, Lois. And then another question from Emily naman, what treatment is the best for autism and ADHD? Thank you po.
Yun po, when it comes to treatment po, depende po sa needs ng bata. Kasi there are children po na kailangan po ng behavioral behavior ABA po, no? Behavior modification. Depende po kasi sa pangangailangan. May iba po naman ng mga bata na kailangan lang i-improve si social interaction though they are diagnosed with mild autism. So kaya yun po, si developmental pediatrician po ang nagbibigay kung ano po yung therapy na kailangan ng bata. Yan po siya. So through proper assessment po yun, syempre, para ma-identify ano po talaga yung kailangan na therapy.
Yes. Thank you so much, Miss Carla. No? Yun po, as mentioned nga by Miss Carla, dapat, yun, kumbaga, mag-undergo muna po ng parang consultation, no, bago yung ma-address yung tamang treatment for those na merong autism and merong ADHD. And then, I think we can cater last one. This is from Teacher Chel. Sa school po pa namin, may mangilan-ngilan na magulang na ine-enroll na ang anak nila kahit po may ADHD or autism. As teachers po na hindi specialized doon, medyo challenging po talaga. Limited lang din po kasi ang public na nagkikater ng ganon. Kaya even if kahit na regular public school, i-enroll nila doon. May specific example po ba kayo ng activity na pwede namin magamit para sa pagtuturo sa kanila?
Siguro po when it comes to school placement, better po kung ang school na po mismo ang kumausap sa magulang na kailangan pong ilipat sa special education program yung anak na kahit po dahil alam na nila na diagnose po yung bata and hindi po kaya to makihalubilo or pumasok po sa general education setup. So, kailangan po si school na po mismo yung magsabi sa parents na kailangan po i-include sila sa special education program po. Yun po siya. Kasi, yun nga po, sabi na din po dito sa question, nahirapan po si teacher na hindi nag-specialize dun sa field na yun. Kaya, challenging din po for them na hawakan kasi i-handle po yung bata. Kasi since kapag diagnosed po, let's say with autism, kailangan po talaga na one-on-one po talaga ang pagtuturo. Same din po with ADHD since yun nga po yung pagdating sa behavior nila is they're very hyperactive and inattentive. Kailangan din po ng at least one-on-one po na pagtuturo.
Thank you po, Miss Carla. No? So sabi nga din po dito sa chat na talagang yung school na may nag-offer ng special education ang susi or yun dapat talaga ma-enroll yung mga students. Kasi I think yun nga, as mentioned din naman by Teacher Chel, limited lang yung schools. So maybe kung kunyari hindi nag-work no, na kinausap yung principal, maybe some activities online or minsan meron pong mga group na sila, no, para siyang support group or session group na nag-share sila ano ba yung mga tips na ginagawa nila for students na merong autism, no, or ADHD. Ayan. So sabi nga ni Teacher Chel, minsan si parents din po nag-i-insist dahil po sa kakulangan din ng budget. And so I hope we have a next session where more on practical tips ang pwede nating maituro. So stay tuned po no sa mga susunod pa po nating mga webinar. So with that, no, again, we would like to thank our speakers for answering the questions of our attendees. Kung may mga pahabol na question, feel free to send it na lang sa aming Facebook page and then we'll park it and sasagutin po namin yung kahit via email. So this is really an insightful session, especially for those na first time mag-attend ng webinar about autism. And so with that, we would like to show how grateful we are by presenting our certificate of appreciation. So let me just read the citation.
Many thanks po, Mr. Roylet and Miss Carla. Before we end the session, we would like to give the floor to our founder to give us his inspirational message.
Miss Carla Bahada, Mr. D.R. Arellano, to all volunteers of Hansen Inclusion Philippines, and to all attendees in Zoom and Facebook Live, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am truly grateful to be here today speaking to all of you about a topic that is close to my heart: neurodiversity and autism. It is my hope that by the end of this webinar, you will not only be informed about the importance of embracing neurodiversity, but also feel inspired to actively support and advocate for individuals with autism spectrum. Neurodiversity speaks to the beautiful concept that every individual possesses a unique set of neurological traits and abilities. Just as we embrace and celebrate diversity in culture, race, and gender, it is time that we extend that celebration through neurological differences as well. Neurodiversity is not merely a fancy term. It is a shift in perspective, a recognition that all individuals, regardless of their neurology, can contribute meaningfully to our society. Autism, a neurodevelopmental condition, is one of the integral parts of this broader concept of neurodiversity, often mistaken to be a disability. Autism is in fact a unique way of perceiving the world and interacting with it. Individuals on the autism spectrum excel in various areas such as problem solving, pattern recognition, and attention to detail. Their neurodivergent thought processes allow them to provide fresh perspectives, innovate, and contribute to a more inclusive and diverse society. Unfortunately, society has often struggled to understand and appreciate the beauty of neurodiversity. People on the autism spectrum faces numerous challenges, from stigma to discrimination to limited opportunities and support. It is our collective responsibility to break down these barriers and create an inclusive environment that values and support individuals with diverse neurological experiences. The first step in supporting neurodiversity and autism is education. By learning more about autism and neurodivergent traits, we can dispel the misconceptions and stereotypes surrounding these conditions. We must strive to replace ignorance with empathy, understanding, and acceptance. As we raise awareness, we create a society that sees the incredible potential in every individual, regardless of neurology. Moreover, it is crucial that we can actively advocate for the rights and well-being of individuals on the autism spectrum. This means pushing for inclusive educational environments, equal job opportunities, and appropriate support services. By fostering an inclusive culture, we provide a platform for neurodivergent individuals to utilize their strengths, contribute their unique perspectives, and thrive. Let us remember that true inclusivity is not merely a box to be checked or a quota to be fulfilled. It is about amplifying the voices of individuals on the autism spectrum and valuing their conditions. By embracing neurodiversity, we invite a rich tapestry of ideas, talents, and perspectives into our lives and communities. In conclusion, let us stand together as advocates not only for neurodiversity and autism, but also for inclusion. Let us challenge the stigma and stereotypes that hinder progress and instead celebrate the immense potential and beauty of every individual's unique neurological makeup. By fostering an inclusive society, we can not only change lives, but shape a brighter future for generations to come. Thank you once again for joining in this webinar, and may your newfound knowledge and inspiration guide you on your journey towards a more inclusive and accepting world for all. Maraming salamat po sa mga dumalo. Pagpalain po kayo ng poong may kapal.
Mr. D.R. Arellano, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. I am truly grateful to be here today, speaking to all of you about a topic that is close to my heart, neurodiversity and autism. It is my hope that by the end of this webinar, you will not only be informed about the importance of embracing neurodiversity, but also feel inspired to actively support and advocate for individuals on the autism spectrum. Neurodiversity speaks to the beautiful concept that every individual possesses a unique set of neurological traits and abilities. Just as we embrace and celebrate diversity in culture, race, and gender, it is time that we extend that celebration to a neurological differences as well. Neurodiversity is not merely a fancy term, it is a shift in perspective, a recognition that all individuals, regardless of their neurology, can contribute meaningfully to our society. Autism, a neurodevelopmental condition, is one of the integral parts of this broader concept of neurodiversity. Often mistaken to be a disability, autism is in fact a unique way of perceiving the world and interacting with it. Individuals on the autism spectrum excel in various areas such as problem solving, pattern recognition, and attention to detail. Their neurodivergent thought processes allows them to provide fresh perspectives, innovate, and contribute to a more inclusive and diverse society. Unfortunately, society has often struggled to understand and appreciate the beauty of neurodiversity. people on the autism spectrum face numerous challenges, from stigma and discrimination to limited opportunities and support. It is our collective responsibility to break down these barriers and create an inclusive environment that values and supports individuals with diverse neurological experiences. Okay, so the first step in supporting neurodiversity and autism is education. By learning about autism and neurodivergent traits, we can dispel the misconceptions and stereotypes surrounding these conditions. We must strive to replace ignorance with empathy, understanding, and acceptance. As we raise awareness, we create a society that sees the incredible potential in every individual regardless of neurology. Moreover, it is crucial that we actively advocate for the rights and well-being of individuals on the autism spectrum. This means pushing for inclusive educational environments, equal job opportunities, and appropriate support services. By fostering an inclusive culture, we provide a platform for neurodivergent individuals to utilize their strengths, contribute their unique perspectives, and thrive. Let us remember that true inclusivity is not merely a box to be checked or a quota to be fulfilled. It is about amplifying the voices of individuals on the autism spectrum and valuing their contributions. By embracing neurodiversity, we invite a rich tapestry of ideas, talents, and perspectives into our lives and communities. In conclusion, let us stand together as advocates for neurodiversity and autism. Let us challenge the stigma and stereotypes that hinder progress and instead celebrate the immense potential and beauty of every individual's unique neurological makeup. By fostering an inclusive society, we not only change lives but shape a brighter future for generations to come. Thank you once again for joining me in this webinar, and may your newfound knowledge and inspiration guide you on your journey towards a more inclusive and accepting world for all. So thank you so much, Roylan. All right. So thank you so much, Royline. I think despite the technical difficulties, it was truly inspiring. Just to share with you, the organization started last 2017, and right now we have events like this one at dumadami na ang volunteers. Only shows how committed and dedicated you are to raise awareness and use our platform in helping those in need.
Thanks, Roylan. And speaking of volunteers, if you like to join our organization, volunteer your time, and help others, you can send a message in our FB account, Hands in Inclusion Pilipinas.
Yes, so malay nyo, next time kayo naman po ang kasama natin dito sa ating next webinar. And speaking of webinar, we would like to also announce that we will be having another webinar soon, which will talk about different topic naman.
Wow, partner! Ngayon pa lang ay excited na ako sa next event. So everyone, make sure na you are updated sa ating mga events. Stay tuned for the date and time for the next webinar.
Yes, kaya naman please follow our social media accounts that we will be presenting here sa ating slide. So we are active sa Facebook, sa LinkedIn, X, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, Threads, Spotify, and also sa Viber. So we hope to see you all uli sa ating next event.
And as mentioned, please follow our social media account and hope to see you all in our next event po.
Yes, and we will give e-certificates for those na nagstay till the end. Please answer the evaluation form and input your correct details para sure na marireceive ang inyong e-certificate. So we'll send the link here na lang po sa ating chat box, and we'll also present the QR code. So now, as mentioned kanina, we'll having a photo op. So please open your camera. For those na comfortable lang to open their camera, So please feel free to open your camera for a quick photo op. And while you're opening your camera, We would also like to thank our partners for this webinar, the Philippine Registry of Interpreters for Deaf or PRID, our Filipino Sign Language Interpreter, sila Miss Mylene Mandapat. Can I see a heart naman? Can I see a heart naman sa ating mga volunteers din, no? Si Miss Blessy Azarcon, Fabi Pangilinan, and Miss May Cristel Go Chua. Alright, so please open your camera for a quick photo of. Okay, sige. So yung iba po, wag po kayo mahiya. Feel free to open your camera. Ayan, sige. So, count po ako ng 1 to 3. Sige, smile na lang. 1, 2, 3. Ayan. How about sa next panel natin or next, para naman makita din yung iba. Smile po ulit tayo. 1, 2, 3. Ayan. Thank you so much po, no, again for attending our webinar. So please access po the link sa ating chat box to receive your e-certificates.
Thanks everyone. Once again, I am TJ.
And I am Lexi, and we have been your host for our webinar entitled Embracing Neurodiversity, Cultivating Understanding and Empathy for Autism.
Thank you,
and God bless. Thank you po.
Thank you po.